and welcome to this month's Stamping with Scrapbookers. We are working with critters this month. These are the critters I'm going to be working with. They are a set of layered penguin stamps from Hero Arts. We're going to be a bit wintry today, which if it's very hot where you are is good, right? Because you're like, can feel cool while watching the scrapbook penguins from December. All right, so let's talk ink and colors. We are going to be using some grayscales from Altenew, and then we're going to put a pop of this sapphire blue gorgeousness into the mix because it's going to match our photos. I've alternated the shades of gray that I'm using. So I'm using my Altenew mini ink cubes because I have lots of gray tones in my Altenew set. And so I kind of popped them together with light and dark, different shades of gray. So we've got some warm grays, we've got some cool grays, and I just mixed and matched them so that I had a couple different inking combinations. This one was my favorite. It was Evening Gray and Lava Rock. And this is more of a warm kind of a gray color, almost brown. But if you take a look, like if you Google penguin babies, which is what these are, you find that sometimes they're not really black and white. So using these more warm gray colors did give me a very realistic look to my penguins that I did enjoy. I'm using my regular size Misty because I know that I can just stamp these. I'm going to die cut them. They're going to be embellishments on my layouts. They're not going to be the full 12 by 12 page. Also, we're not doing a 12 by 12 page today. We're doing an 8.5 by 11. I inked all of my colors twice. I am using Nina Oit cardstock, 110 pound cardstock, which allows me the ability to add all of these layers to all this layered ink to it. It's a really heavy, sturdy cardstock, and that's really important when you are going to be layering color on color on color. If you use a thinner type of cardstock, you will get like a little bit of feathering at the edges just because the paper can't hold all the ink you're throwing at it. This is going to be my last layer for this penguin. It is the black layer. I'm using Altenew permanent black ink. That's just the black ink that I use. I keep it on my desk. It's there all the time. It's fabulous. I'm going to go ahead now and just add my last layer. And then off camera, I did 5 of these penguins in alternating different shades of gray. This was my favorite combination that I'm showing you here. And but you'll see if when you see the finished layout and I'm putting the finished layout together, you'll see that the penguins are different shades of gray, and that's why, because I did do five in total different baby penguins, but I just showed you one. So this stamp set comes with some fun little additions to your penguins. You can add little top hats to them. You can add little bow ties. And I thought, you know what? Let's do it. I think that when you purchase stamps for scrapbooking, it's important to look at all the elements and decide if you can use. So my rule of thumb for purchasing a stamp set for scrapbooking, because many of them are geared to card making, I have a 90-10 rule. If I know that this is going to go on a scrapbook layout, I want to use this for scrapbooking, like these penguins, I want 90% of the stamps to be usable on a scrapbook layout. I don't mind if there's a random thank you hanging out on my stamp set, but I want 90% of it to be stamps, icons, images, phrases that I can use on a scrapbook layout. And so this one I purchased for scrapbooking, and honestly, I think there is like one little sentiment that I'm not going to use on a scrapbook page. I'm sorry for my fuzzy head. I want to get the second layer of my just perfect. There are 2 layers to the hats, and the layers make it. It just adds this fun little detail to my hats. I'm going to use, I'm sorry, Fitz is beside me today. He wants to play, so if you hear his little tags jingling, I'm using sapphire ink for the bow ties beside my penguin. And this is the part we're going to stamp right now. So I'm going to go ahead off camera. I'm going to put the stamp set away, and I'm going to die cut using the coordinating dies all these little bits and pieces. So now let's add some details. So part of me wishes I had not added details and had not covered the top hat in glossy accents, because doing so I lost all that awesome detail, which is totally, it's fine. And in the end, the layout is gorgeous, but learn from my mistakes. If you have that nice little tone on tone shadow, don't add glossy accents over the top. It just turns it into all one color. I added glossy accents to their little eyes and their beaks, and just a little bit of extra something. So now let's get this layout put together. We're going to work on white cardstock. Now this is a lower weight. This is 80-pound Neenah cardstock, and it's just a nice bright white. I'm going to back it with that black paper. So my papers I'm using today, let's talk about a little bit about my scrapbooking products. I went into my iris container that holds my older than dirt pattern papers, and I pulled some of these out. I think they're from Kessie Art. They are a number of years old, but they matched that beautiful sapphire blue that's in my photos, and they match the beautiful sapphire blue that I used for my penguins, so we're going to use those. Another thing is, because I am using older than dirt layouts, older than dirt paper, I'm totally fine with backing my white Neenah cardstock completely with that Kessie Art pattern. That is just going to add a little bit more bulk, and since the end of this layout is going to be with me stamping directly on that Neenah cardstock, I want a little bit of tooth to my layout. I don't want it to be really thin, my base papers. So I have these 3 photos of penguins. I cut the photos down so they're printed at 3x4, but then I went ahead and cut them down more so they are 3x3. And then I'm going to do kind of like a photo strip mat on them that you can see here. So we are doing an 8.5x11 layout today, and we are using 4 pictures on it. So this is a great, if you're one of my scrapping small subscribers, here is kind of a nice way to get a lot of photos on a page. This blue paper is from Paige Evans Horizon paper pad. Yes, I'm still using paper pads. I absolutely am. I think I've used a paper pad on every one of my projects this month so far. I'm almost positive. I can't think of one I didn't use paper pad on. Anyway, so I started out thinking I kind of want this kind of layout for my page. Then I'm looking at it and I realize that every picture and every person on this page is looking off the page, which isn't so cool. So we're going to move everybody and flip the page around so that we have everyone kind of, including the penguins, kind of looking into the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and add, see how cute. I'm just kind of, what's the word? Auditioning some of these bits and pieces. So the blue paper that is behind my son's photo is from Paige Evans Horizon paper pad. And then I also am going to grab some cute little sticker elements for from that same paper pad to add a bit of color and a little bit of embellishment. And then I also have this fun sticker. This is from Heidi Swap's Wolfpack collection, and I'm going to use it for my journaling. So the nice thing is the Horizon paper pad, I guess from the comments I've received after I've asked this question, all American Crafts paper pads, the stickers don't stick. Shocker, I know. So I can kind of like put these halfway down and then kind of set them off to the side. And I'm going to audition a couple more things here until I'm happy with the placement of everything. I have my Getting Sticky With It notebook off to the side there, you can see, because when you just put the Horizon sticker sheet and you just put the Wolfpack sticker sheet and the different papers together, it looked like a big mess. So to kind of cull it down so that what I'm looking at are just the shades of blue that I want, I'm using the Getting Sticky With It notebook. Okay, so I want this photo popped up, so I'm going to use my very favorite Doris foam strips to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my journaling down. So these stickers from Heidi Swapp are really nice because they're a matte sticker, so you can write on them. And they take the ink perfectly and no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and write the story of this event, and then I'm going to start to get all my penguins and all my little elements stuck down. While I go ahead and stick these penguins down, I'll tell you a little bit about these photos. So in December of 2018, a couple of weeks after my grandma passed away, Logan had been asking and asking all for most of the winter. Actually, since the winter before, so since the winter of 2017, he had been asking if we could go to the Pittsburgh Zoo in the winter time and watch this event that they do where they rope off an area in front of the aquarium and they just let the penguins out. So they totally let the penguins out. They're allowed to run free. You can walk over. They walk over to there's a gated area, but they walk right over to it, and you can pet them. And they're obviously, this is an event that will not be happening probably this year. But so we went, and he'd been asking for a long time to go. It's called the March of the no, it's not called March of the Penguins. It's called Penguins on Parade. And so this year, 2018, my grandma died at the beginning of December. And a couple weeks later, I saw that advertised that they were going to do this event. So we got tickets and took the boys out. And they had a blast. It was so cold, though. It was December. I mean, it was freezing cold. But I have all these gorgeous penguin pictures. And so I figured I try to get as many of the penguin pictures onto the page as possible. I could probably have done, with as many pictures as I put on my phone, I probably could have done like 10 pages of penguins, but I'm keeping it to 2. And then after the event was over, we went into the aquarium, which is heated. And we walked around the zoo a little bit, but again, so cold. So I have all of my penguins down. I'm going to go ahead and add the stickers from the paper pad that I picked, and now I am stamping. So I went back to that sapphire ink. I'm pulling out more stamps from that stamp set. I am adding these beautiful snowflakes. There are little snowflake stamps in the stamp set that are in 3 different sizes. And then I also went ahead and grabbed two of the phrase stamps. The one that says "You're cool" and the one that says "I love you this much." And I'm going to go ahead and add those with the sapphire ink and the stamping. I'm stamping straight onto my background at this point. Everything's in. I'm just using my smallest acrylic block so that I have kind of like a good placement of everything. I'm inking the stamp up really good, and these are photopolymer stamps, so they will give a nice crisp image without needing to be stamped more than once. And that's how we are going to finish this layout off. Here are all the close-ups, all the cute, adorable little penguin-y goodness. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure to check out Caitlin, Christina, and Sandy's layouts. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye!